Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
It is easy to say successful people in every field are blessed with talent or they're plain lucky. But the truth is successful people work harder than an average person. Jeffrey Immelt, CEO of GE, has been putting in 100 hours every week for the last 24 years. Yahoo CEO Marissa Mayer put in 130 hours a week while working for Google. And our very own Indra Nooyi, CEO of Pepsi, worked as a receptionist from midnight to 5 a.m. to earn money so that she could do her masters from Yale. Here I'm reminded of what Kimat Rai Gupta, the man who built Havells, told me. Overnight success story as defined by him is 25 years of hard work, devotion and dedication. So the pattern is very clear. All successful people work hard, work long and work smart. The story of this week's episode is very interesting and a little offbeat from the rest. Madan Mohanka had the right combination when he started his business. He hailed from a business family, did his MBA from a premier institute and had a foreign company as his joint venture partner. Yet, these combinations failed him miserably. But like our epic hero Arjuna, he never lost focus for a moment. He kept at it. Now, some 3 decades later, his company Tega Industries has emerged as the second largest company in the world in mill lining products for the mining industry. Take a look at Tega Industries' story and you'll know why you should not lose your focus or heart if you want to succeed, even if it means waiting for 20 years.
April 1979 was the darkest year in Madan Mohanka's life as the founder and CEO of the Kolkata-based Tega Industries. Madan was witnessing the imminent closure of his company. There were no orders, no money to pay salaries to his staff. Seeing his plight and helplessness, his wife stepped in and offered to sell her jewelry. That saved the day for him and the company. Today, Tega has become the second largest player in the world in rubber mill lining products for the mining industry, and this is reflected in its financials. It earned profit before tax of 117 crore rupees on a turnover of 681 crore rupees for the year ended March 2014. Tega, which began operations in 1978, has moved from being a local company to a truly global company in mining equipment and solutions. 75% of its turnover comes from exports to 72 countries from its 6 plants located in Kolkata, Gujarat, Australia, South Africa and Chile. Tega's core expertise lies in designing, manufacturing and distributing rubber mill liners. These rubber mill liners are used in the grinding and beneficiation of mineral ore and contribute to most of Tega's turnover. Its other major product for the mining industry is screen decks. So how did it all begin for Madan Mohanka? Born into a Marwari business family, Madan, after completing his graduation in engineering in 1964, was asked by his father to join the family's electrical business, which had begun in Jamshedpur way back in the 1940s. But young Madan decided to do his MBA from the country's premier institute IIM Ahmedabad in 1965. Soon after completing his MBA, Madan joined the family's business in Kolkata. Life was easy as the cash register kept ringing. But 26-year-old Madan was restless. He wanted to do something new. In June 1971, Madan came across an ad of Switzerland-based Tega in a mining journal. Tega specialized in the design, development and manufacture of abrasion-resistant rubber products for the mining and cement industry. Tega was widely considered an industry leader and had a monopoly-like hold on the global market. This was a completely new technology for India, as traditionally mill linings have been made of steel and not rubber. Besides, the technology was unique and presented before Madan a big challenge to create his own engineers. Madan approached Tega seeking to become their agent in India, but they refused. But Madan was not a quitter. He travelled all the way to Sweden to convince Tega's top guns. They were quite impressed by his pitch and they agreed. Back home, it was more difficult to convince the Indian bureaucrats. After 6 harrowing years of going through all the maze of red tape, Madan got the green signal to incorporate Tega Industries in 1976. It set up a manufacturing facility in Kolkata, in which Tega AB picked up 40% stake. The plant went on stream in 1978, but much to Madan's astonishment, there were no takers for the product. The pre-market surveys had belied the reality. The Indian mining industry, dominated by PSUs, did not accept Tega's product. To add to that, his family's interference in his new venture did not go well for Tega employees. Things came to a boil, and Madan decided to relinquish his stake in all other family businesses and concentrate on his pet project. Now it was a do-or-die situation. Madan Mohanka had to make Tega a success. He rejigged his strategy, operated on a wafer-thin margin to keep the business going. Slowly but surely, Tega made inroads into the Indian mining sector. But the scale of operations was nothing to write home about, as the domestic mining industry was growing at a mere 1% per annum. Some 20 years later, Tega posted a meager turnover of 11.9 crore rupees in 1999 and a profit of 27 lakh rupees. Then came the big turning point. Tega's licensee agreement with Skega ended in 1998, and Skega divested its 40% stake. This changed the company's fortunes. Tega was now free to sell mining products in the international markets where there was a huge demand. In other words, it would compete with Skega. Tega's first international order came from Ghana in 1998, and within 5 years, Tega had captured 68% market share in Ghana. Tega Industries soon started growing at an unbelievable 50 to 60% every year. Most of Tega's growth has come in the last 5 years. From revenues of 23.3 crore rupees in 2009-2010 to 681 crore rupees in 2013-2014, Tega has indeed arrived. Today, it is proving to be a formidable competitor to the global #1 player, Metso, which as per the latest estimates has above 60% share, while Tega has close to 15% market share. To keep its stranglehold in the $1 billion global market, Tega has made 3 key acquisitions in Australia, Africa, and Chile over the last decade. With the tide turning in Tega's favor, private equity players are now betting big on this company. The private equity firm TA Associates has picked up around 15% stake in Tega Industries.
When we met Tega, we were surprised to see, a company of, frankly, an engineering company out of India, which was looking to build a very strong global presence. They are one of the largest players in the mill liner segment in the world. They're one of the few players in that segment, and they supply an international quality product. They do it directly to all their customers, and their customers are the large mining companies. So you have to be of a certain caliber, both in terms of what you're offering, but also how you interact and do business with them, right? And we found that pretty impressive. When we interacted with Madan and Mehul, we found entrepreneurs who were very open-minded, who were transparent in the way they engaged, who were reasonably clear what they were looking for in a partner. And I think we just got along pretty well. So the idea was, can we back them to get an increased access to various markets where they're not strong today or where they are not present today, and take the business to the next level.
Mineral and mining companies globally are now turning to Tega to get good quality yet cheaper products.
3 or 4 years ago, that we were using a different lining for our mills from a different supplier, but we were having issues with their product quality and service. So Tega has expanded in a relatively short period of time. I think that's because they have exceptional level of service, especially after sales customer service. They're very excellent in that. And they have unique solutions approach to different issues, and they understand the industry very well. And they also have very good technical people support, I think, coming from India. We started buying linings from them 2 or 3 years ago.
Tega Industries today has become an attractive takeover target by global companies. But 73-year-old Madan Mohanka, who is fighting fit, is in no mood to hang up his boots. On that note, we take a short break. When we come back, we talk to the founder Madan Mohanka and his son Mehul on how they are meeting the global challenges. Also joining us on the show is Sandeep Uppal of HSBC. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. In her book, Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish, Rashmi Bansal chronicles Madan Mohanka's hard-won success story very aptly. She says, Mohanka faced all the hurdles and challenges of starting up from scratch. But then, Mohanka had what you'd call junoon. Veena Krishna caught up with Madan Mohanka and his son Mehul Mohanka at the Dahej factory in Gujarat to find out how the father-son combined kept Tega Industries alive and growing. This is what they have to say. Take a look.
Okay, Mr. Mohanka, Mehul, Sandeep, welcome to the show.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Mohanka, let me start with you, and I am a graduate. What made you get into business and that too in manufacturing in 1967?
Well, in 1967, the salary of an IIM graduate used to be 10,000 rupees a year, CTC. So I thought, let me try something better to do that. Then I thought of going to US. When I made my application and approached Dr. Mote, he turned it down. He said, I will not recommend your case. If people like you leave India, who will build India? So I stayed back and I never looked back for going to USA, and I stayed here. Then something to start with, then I found this ad of a Tega in one of the office of the mining engineer, which said that we assimilate 3 technologies to give solution to mining companies and mineral processing companies to reduce their downtime. I thought it was a challenging job to assimilate 3 different technology and look for a product. So then I initiated a technical collaboration with them, and that's how I came in this business.
The losses did happen in the beginning. The turnaround took time. Were your decisions wrong, or what was it?
What went wrong was when we initially planned, those days the applications were made to get through from the bank. When we made the application, we took 6 months time for development of the market. We little realized that for a completely new technology, where we were not selling a product, we were selling a concept, it would require much longer time. And we took 2 years, a little more than 2 years to get the first order. So the gestation period was much longer in the company than what we estimated. And number 2, the investment on training was very high. We had not estimated that the money that we will be required to invest on training of people to assimilate 3 different technologies: mechanical engineering, mineral processing and grinding, and the rubber technology. We did not get one engineer who would know all 3. So we had to hire people, get them trained by IIT Kharagpur for rubber technology, Indian School of Mines for the mineral processing, then train them to absorb the technology from Tega to take it forward. So the expenditure were very high on for the gestation period to pay for it, and also on the training. So everything went wrong.
Okay, so today, even for me, it's astonishing to know that, you were a small domestic company with 12 crores turnover in 1999, and suddenly you've become this, global company with 80% of your current 800 crore revenues coming from exports. What triggered this change?
Well, in 98, our collaboration agreement expired, and then we were allowed to look outside India. Till such time, we were an inward-looking company, marketing only to the public sector and the government companies. So when we wanted to look out, Svedala acquired Tega, and they were competing with us in India. So we knew the only way we can survive is to fight back with them in outside India. So we started looking at external geography and started preparing people to look at export and take it forward.
Okay, so Mehul, what would you say was the trigger? And you are going to face the global challenges. So what kind of challenges do you think you face?
Well, in the 90s, I think the mining industry per se was not growing at all. I mean, roughly around 1% or at times negative growth rates year on year.
From 76 to 90, the mining industry growth was 1%, and some year it was negative also. Some year it was negative as well.
Yeah, so for us, since the top line wasn't growing, though bottom line's always been okay for us, we were very sure that for us, now having had the opportunity to step out, the only way forward was to take our products to a different market. It was just, I mean, the market for us in India was saturated. So that's what led us to step outside, and the first country we went to was Africa. And it was Africa because we were quite sure that that would be one continent which would not have prejudices against an Indian or an Asian manufacturing company. So that would have been for us a lower risk investment. And to our luck, I think that paid off. I mean, that's what I could say. It's pure luck.
Okay, but you would be seeing challenges. There would be some global challenges.
Even at that time, in order to supplement our investment, we hired a British engineer to help us to export. So when he went to export, nobody asked whether it's an Indian company or how small or big the company is. So that reduced the risk of our investment, though its cost was almost like 40% cost of the whole company. But that helped us to initially start in Africa.
So the face of the company was a British national?
British national, not an Indian face, to start within Africa. And that helped us to build the references. And once we got the references outside India, then it became slightly easier for us to explore in Australia, USA, and other countries.
But would there be any technology and integration issues that you saw?
Well, technology integration, we had to start from the day one. And why we could grow, because from 76 to 98, we had really absorbed the technology very well, but we were not able to exploit it because our market was limited to India. In fact, in 84, Tega had called for a sample from all over the world, samples from different countries to try out, and they found that samples given from India were declared by them as the best sample, even better than Tega original and USA both. So absorption of the technology we had started doing from the day one, and we had absorbed it properly.
Okay, so Sandeep, how do you look at this Tega's rapid global presence?
While I've seen the progress over the last couple of years, but it's really quite enlightening to hear the progress over the last 4 decades. So the way we see it is that Madan really created a company with very strong foundations, especially around technology, first with a partnership and then on their own. And in a way, they were kind of hostage because of their agreement to the Indian market, which allowed them to really consolidate it, have a strong base. Then, other than the challenges that Madan highlighted, I also find it interesting that whatever opportunity came their way, especially opening up of the global market, growth in the mining sector, they kind of grabbed it with open arms. So that's kind of worked well for them. And from a banker's perspective, we always look at the financial aspect of the business. So we like a company which has consistent growth, which they've demonstrated. We like company which has the eye on the margins. So it's not that you go absolutely crazy just because there's an overseas market and you go for top line and not for bottom line. So I think that's been kept. The capital structure has been fairly conservative. I see it as a business which has kind of ticked all the boxes, accepted the opportunities, learned from the challenges, and is now well set for growth over the next couple of years.
So Mehul, why would you say your products are in demand today globally?
I think there are two elements to it. One is, of course, the quality of our products that we ship globally. And second's got to do with the customer service element to it. We have a firm belief that we would not sell our products to customers who we cannot service within 48 hours of them lobbing a call into our system. That's the reason why we are today spread across 18 geographies globally.
Okay, and how would you see Tega in the next 5 years?
Well, I think it's going to be quite a challenging experience over the next 5 years, because we've set ourselves very steep targets for growth. Now, having gone through the phase of stability and foundation, as what my father was involved in the first 40 years of Tega's existence, I think it's for us to now take it forward to the next level. And having gone through the initial hiccups, I think now we are stronger to now grow more aggressively. So I think we've got two elements of growth planned. One is the organic growth, which is going to play out as we build capacities and penetrate new markets. But there is also going to be an element of the inorganic growth story, which is going to fold out. I think in the next 5 years, we're going to remain very acquisitive.